Why your cat sleeps on your bed. Because to them, that's the closest place to your life. You think your cat sleeps on your bed because it's warm. But warmth is only the excuse. Most people think they already know the answer. Your bed is soft, warm, elevated, and full of blankets, so of course your cat wants to sleep there. That explanation sounds reasonable, and on the surface, it is. Cats do love comfort. They love heat. They love soft textures and quiet places where they can curl up undisturbed. But if comfort were the real reason, then your cat could just as easily choose the couch, the folded laundry, the sunny chair by the window, or the blanket you left in another room. And yet, many cats keep returning to one place over and over again. Your bed, your pillow, the side where you sleep, the empty spot your body just left. That is where the simple explanation starts to fall apart. Because your cat is not only choosing a comfortable surface, they are choosing the place in your home that feels the most like you, and that makes the behavior far more emotional than most people realize. A bed is not just furniture to a cat. It is the strongest version of your presence in the house humans think visually. Cats do not. Cats build their world through scent, rhythm, and repeated emotional signals. Your bed holds all three at the highest concentration. It holds your body heat long after you leave. It holds your scent more intensely than almost anywhere else. It holds the shape of your routine, because every night and every morning your body returns to it. To a cat, that means your bed is not just a place where you sleep. It is a place where your existence gathers. The smell of your skin, the heaviness of your breathing, the stillness of your body, the pattern of your nights. All of that settles into the bed and stays there. So when your cat lies down on your bed, they are not simply choosing fabric. They are choosing the place in the house where your presence feels the most complete. And cats only rest deeply in places that let them lower their guard. This is where the behavior becomes more meaningful. Sleep is one of the most vulnerable states any animal can be in. A sleeping cat is slower, less reactive, and far less in control of its surroundings. That is why where a cat chooses to sleep matters so much. Play can happen anywhere. Curiosity can happen anywhere. A short nap can happen anywhere. But real rest is different. Real rest requires trust. If your cat repeatedly chooses your bed for deep sleep, then your bed has become one of the places where their nervous system feels safest shutting down. That is not a small thing. Cats do not accidentally become vulnerable in emotionally unimportant spaces. They do it in places that feel familiar, stable, and protected. And if your bed is one of those places, then you are already far more central to their emotional world than you may think. When your cat sleeps where your body usually is, they may be choosing the version of you that never leaves. One of the most overlooked details is where exactly a cat chooses to sleep on the bed. Some cats sleep at the foot of the bed, some near the edge, some on your chest, some on your pillow, and some wait until you leave, then immediately take the exact spot your body was just in. That detail matters, because when your cat chooses the place your body occupied, they may not just be choosing warmth, they may be choosing continuity. Your scent is strongest there, your heat lingers there, your shape remains there for a while. To your cat, that spot is not empty yet. It still feels like the closest possible thing to your presence. In a quiet, instinctive way, your cat may be using that spot to stay inside the feeling of you, even when you are not physically there anymore. If they sleep at your feet, it often means trust with boundaries. A lot of people assume the foot of the bed is just a random place, but it often reveals something important about the bond. A cat sleeping near your feet is still choosing closeness, but in a way that preserves an exit route and a sense of spatial control. They can feel your movement. They can hear your breathing. They can share your sleep space without being fully engulfed by it. For many cats, that is the ideal version of intimacy. It is closeness without pressure, presence without surrender. That is why a cat at your feet should never be interpreted as distant. In many cases, it means the opposite. It means they trust you enough to rest in your space, but they are doing it in the exact form their instincts can handle best. That is not lesser affection. That is affection translated into feline terms. If they sleep near your head, the bond may be more intimate than it looks. The space around your face and pillow is different. That part of the bed carries your strongest scent and your gentlest signals. Your breath, your hair, your smallest movements, the warmth of your skin. It all gathers there. So when a cat chooses to sleep beside your pillow or above your head, they are moving into the densest emotional version of you that exists in the room. It is a remarkably personal choice. They are not only choosing warmth, they are choosing your breath, your smell, and the part of your body that feels most alive even in stillness. Some cats even seem to settle more deeply once they can hear or feel your breathing pattern. And that makes the behavior feel almost like emotional syncing. Not in a human romantic sense, but in the quiet, instinctive sense that your life signals are regulating their comfort. Sometimes your cat is not just sleeping beside you, they are placing themselves inside the safest center of your territory. There is another layer here that makes the behavior even more interesting. Cats do not only bond with people, they also bond with places that represent important relationships. Once a cat becomes attached to you, your bed may stop being your territory and become something shared. It becomes the emotional center of the home. That is why some cats will spend time on your bed even when you are not there. They are not only waiting for you, they are staying close to the place that means you most strongly. In that sense, the bed becomes symbolic. It is no longer just where you sleep. It is where the bond lives. A cat lying there may be doing something deeper than resting. They may be preserving connection by remaining close to the heart of the relationship itself. And sometimes they choose your bed because you are vulnerable there too. This is the part most people never think about. We tend to imagine that only the cat is being vulnerable during sleep. But from your cat's point of view, you are different at night too. You are still, quiet, unaware, less responsive. You are not moving through the house controlling the world anymore. You are simply there, breathing. To a bonded cat, that changes the emotional meaning of the space. Some cats seem especially drawn to sleeping humans because the energy becomes softer, quieter, and easier to read. They may not understand sleep the way we do, but they do understand altered states. And your sleeping body is one of the calmest, least unpredictable versions of you they ever experience. So when your cat settles beside you at night, they may not only be seeking safety for themselves, they may also be choosing to stay near you in a moment when you feel gentler and more defenseless too. That is why kneading, circling, and settling rituals matter so much on a bed. Many cats do not just jump on the bed and fall asleep. They circle first, they knead the blanket, they press their paws rhythmically, they test the space, they turn, stop, adjust, and only then lie down. Those little rituals are not random habits, they are emotional preparation. Kneading is deeply tied to self-soothing and security. Circling is a way of organizing the resting space. Pressing into the blanket may be part comfort and part instinctive checking. So when your cat performs those rituals specifically on your bed, they are doing more than getting comfortable. They are transforming the bed into a place where they can let go completely. In other words, they are not only responding to the bed as safe, they are actively making it feel even safer before they surrender to sleep. If they only sleep on your bed when you are gone, that does not mean they feel less for you. This is important because many people misunderstand reserved cats. Some cats avoid sleeping directly beside a person while that person is moving, rolling over, or reaching out. But the moment the bed is empty, they claim it. That can look emotionally distant, but often it means the exact opposite. It means the cat wants the intimacy of your scent and your space, but without the unpredictability of direct physical contact. For a more cautious cat, that is still a huge expression of attachment. They are choosing the part of you they can handle most easily. They may not want your body on top of the experience, but they still want the environment that feels most like you. And for cats, that is often how love looks: selective, quiet, but incredibly precise. But sometimes a cat sleeping on your bed is not just love. Sometimes it is reassurance seeking. Not every cat on a bed is expressing the same emotion. Sometimes the choice is about bonding. Sometimes it is about routine. Sometimes it is about warmth. And sometimes it is about anxiety. If your cat suddenly becomes far more attached to your bed after a major change, such as a move, a new person, a new pet, conflict in the home, or long periods of your absence, the bed may be serving as a powerful emotional anchor. Because it smells like you more than any other place, it becomes the quickest route back to regulation. That does not make the behavior unloving. It just means that affection and reassurance can overlap. A cat can choose your bed because they trust you, and also because they are leaning on that trust more heavily than usual. And if they suddenly stop sleeping on your bed, pay attention to that too. Behavior becomes most revealing when it changes. If your cat has always slept on your bed and suddenly stops, do not dismiss it as a random new phase. Cats are creatures of pattern. A strong sleeping habit usually ends for a reason. Sometimes the reason is physical. Jumping onto the bed may hurt now. The mattress may feel less stable. Their body may feel different. Sometimes it is environmental. A new smell, a change in the room, an unfamiliar blanket, or a shift in your sleep schedule may have altered the emotional tone of the space. And sometimes the reason is relational. You have been away more. Your routine changed. The sense of predictability around the bed is no longer the same. Whatever the reason, when a cat changes a place of deep rest, they are giving you information. Not in words, but in the most honest language they have. Because in the quietest hours of the day, your cat keeps choosing the place that feels most like your life. So the next time your cat climbs onto your bed, presses into your blanket, curls into the warmth your body left behind, or settles close enough to hear you breathe, do not reduce the moment to comfort alone. Yes, the bed is warm. Yes, it is soft. But that is not why this behavior means so much. Your bed is the place where your scent is strongest, your rhythm is clearest, and your presence feels most complete. To your cat, it is not just a mattress. It is the closest thing in the house to being wrapped inside your existence. And when they choose to sleep there again and again, what they may really be saying is this: out of every place in the home, this is where your life feels closest to mine.